Hello mortals, I'm the booktube goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. Now, I've been seeing a lot of booktubers doing their most anticipated releases for 2022, and I'm not sure how to even compile that, so I'm going to cheat. I just looked up someone else's list, and this is from Polygon.com, entitled The Science Fiction and Fantasy Books We're Excited For in 2022. So I'm going to go over these books, see which ones I'm excited about. Okay, let's just scroll down. The first book is Star Wars, The Fallen Star, The High Republic by Claudia Gray. I have to be honest with you, I haven't read a Star Wars book in ages. In fact, the only one I remember is The Splinter of the Mind's Eye by Alan Dean Foster. I'm probably going to take a pass on this, but let me know in the comments if you are interested in a Star Wars book. Next up is The Silver Bullets of Annie Oakley by Mercedes Lackey. Okay, an Elemental Masters novel. The 16th novel in the magical alternate history Elemental Masters series follows Annie Oakley, sharpshooter and performer, as she tours through Germany with Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. Okay, alternate history. I love Mercedes Lackey. I don't really read her regularly like I used to in the early 90s, and I'm not really into Western settings, so I'm probably going to pass this one too. But if you've read this Elemental Masters series by Mercedes Lackey, let me know what you think. Next up is Akata Woman, the Nisabidi, scripts by Nanette Okorafor. Oh, I think I just passed this up on Shelf It or Shove It because I wanted more information on what I should read next. And I'm glad I did because this looks like it's a sequel. Okay, follow up to Akata Witch and Akata Warrior. Sunny Nawazu continues to strike a balance in her life, whether it's between America and Nigeria, or her life as a leopard person and a good daughter. So it's some type of lycanthropy that I guess is Nigerian based. Sounds interesting. I don't know. I'd have to go back, of course, and read the whole series if I'm going to pick that one up. Let me know in the comments if you think I should. Okay, here's another one, How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. I passed this one up on Shelf It or Shove It only because I had no idea what it was about. The cover looks kind of interesting, but it's one of those where the cover may be interesting enough for me to look at the blurb. But, okay, let's read it. In 2030, a grieving archaeologist discovers the remains of a girl killed by an ancient virus. Oh, interesting. As the permafrost lessens, the Arctic plague is unleashed, forcing humanity to reshape everything about their lives. Okay, is this a coronavirus-inspired story? I don't know. How High We Go in the Dark spans centuries and planets to tell the story of human resiliency. Okay, the story is told through the eyes of a cynical theme park worker who falls in love, a heartbroken scientist who teaches a pig to talk, and a widowed painter who seeks a new home in space with her granddaughter. Okay, this sounds wild. It sounds absolutely wild. Maybe I will pick this one up eventually, sometime this year. Next up is Goliath by Tochi Onyebuchi. Oh, I almost chose this as a book to read. I shelved the book because I do like the cover, but there was another cover that looked more interesting. Anyway, Goliath is set in 2050, where the privileged have fled to colonies, cannibalizing the remaining neighborhoods brick by brick to build reminders of their old homes in space. Those left behind have to navigate collapsing infrastructure, barely surviving. Featuring a space dweller looking to settle to New Haven, a group of laborers attempting to save the Earth's cities, and a marshal trying to solve a kidnapping. Yeah, this is another author I really want to read. Maybe I'll go back and pick this one up. Or, better yet, if you have a recommendation of a Tochi Onyebuchi novel, which one should I read first? Next up is Moon Witch Spider King, The Dark Star Trilogy by Marlon James. Not crazy about the cover. Looks very confusing. And also it's a book too, so not sure I'm going to pick this one up. I haven't heard anything about it. Described as an African Game of Thrones, Marlon James's first Dark Star book, Black Leopard, Red Wolf, told the story of Sogalon the Moon Witch and Tracker as they battled to find a missing boy across a mythical landscape. That actually sounds like the type of epic fantasy I really am into. So, I don't know. Oh, what a terrible cover. Okay, well, let me know in the comments below if you've read the first novel, Black Leopard, Red Wolf, and if so, should we start this series? Next up is Age of Ash by Daniel Abraham. From the co-author of The Expanse. Oh, okay, well, a brand new fantasy, epic fantasy trilogy set in the ancient bloody city of Kithamar. Okay, well, I am intrigued only because of the author is one half of the Expanse team. I do like this cover, actually. Looks very epic, but I'm probably going to wait until at least the second book is out if this is a new trilogy. Next up is Bitter by Akwaki Emezi. I'm not even going to try that one. Sorry. I do like the cover. I like that graphic. It's very striking. Is it just me or covers getting better in 2022? I don't know. A companion novel to the author's young adult novel, Pet, it's young adult, introduces us to Bitter, a young painter attending the Haven-like eucalyptus school. Outside the school walls, the city of Lucille is filled with protests against deep-set injustices. Okay, so this seems pretty deep. I don't know if this novel would be for me. Let me know if you're interested in it down below. Gallant by V.E. Schwab. I do like this cover too. What is it with the covers this year? I like the swirling, gyroscope with the two houses in it. Get the reflections of each other. Maybe it's other worlds or other dimensions. When Olivia Pryor receives a mysterious invite to her late parents' manor, Gallant, she finds a first place in her life that feels like home. Unfortunately, it is a home that is trying to drive her out. Her cousin is hostile and there are ghouls in the halls. After stumbling through a seam in a shadow that leads her to a place where the ghouls are fully formed and a dark presence reigns, Olivia must decide if she will protect her world from the master of the house or join him. Okay, I am probably going to pick up this V. Schwab book. I liked her last book, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I did like her Darker Shade of Magic series. I know she's not for everyone, but she is for me. So yeah, I'm going to pick that one up. What is going on? I thought The Expanse was done because I read the last book. Okay, it's a collection of novellas. It's a collection of novellas. I don't know if I'm interested in that or not. I've already read the entire series and the ending that wrapped up, and I kind of like where it settled in my psyche. So I don't know if I really need to revisit more of The Expanse, but interesting. The Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi. From the New York Times bestselling author of the Interdependency trilogy comes a brand new standalone novel. Oh, this is about COVID. The delivery driver in the middle of COVID, when a chance delivery connects him to an old acquaintance with a wild job protecting monster dinosaurs called kaiju in an alternate dimension. Interesting. I think I'm on the fence about that one. Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. Author of Station 11. Now, I tried to get into this on HBO, but didn't get past, I think, the first 2-3 episodes. And I don't know if this is the type of novel for me. The cover is really boring. The story of a plague, COVID, interwoven through the lives of several characters across space and time. Yeah, I'm probably going to skip that one. Next up is Fevered Star Between Earth and Sky, number 2 by Rebecca Roanhorse. Now, I have not picked up Black Sun because I've been waiting for at least the second book to come out in this series. So maybe I'm going to pull the trigger and get both Black Sun and Between the Earth and Sky. I'm hoping this is a trilogy. So it doesn't say. I'm going to assume it's a trilogy. So I can read the first 2 books and maybe next year the third book will be out. Next up, The Memory Librarian and Other Stories of a Dirty Computer by Janelle Monáe. Oh my gosh. Is there nothing this person cannot do? I've seen them act, I like their music, now their writing. That said, I don't know if I'm going to pick up a collection of short stories. Let me know if you're interested in Janelle Monáe's fiction. And if you've read this person, let me know how their writing is. I don't know. But impressive resume. Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. Cover looks a little odd to me. Okay. If you would rather watch a princess kill a prince and marry one, yes, T. Kingfisher's latest is for you. In order to save his sister from the abusive prince she's been married off to, Mira must complete 3 seemingly impossible tasks. Okay, so this has a fairy tale quality to it. I don't know, I'm probably going to skip that one. Book of Night by Holly Black. I think I've mentioned this before, not a huge Holly Black fan, but this is adult dark fantasy. I'm going to think this is a series, so I'll probably wait to hear more about this book and wait until another book is out if this is a series. I'm just not that into Holly Black, sorry. Don't hate me. Next up is Adrian Tchaikovsky, Eyes of the Void. Now, I think I've heard Fit to be Read speak about this person. No? Jump back into Tchaikovsky's space opera. Okay, it's a series. It's a follow-up to The Last Year's Shards of Earth. Okay. I am kind of curious about reading this, and now that there's a couple of books out, I may go back and read the first one. If you have read Adrian Tchaikovsky, let me know what you think. Siren Queen by Nevo. Have I read something by that person, or have I passed? I like that black and white film noir look. Luli Wee is desperate to be a star, but not so desperate she'll play a maid. Oh, interesting. How is this science fiction or fantasy? Luli knows how cutthroat the industry is. So when she discovers that Hollywood is run on a system of ancient magic and blood bargains, she'll do whatever it takes for the steep price of fame. Interesting. I'm kind of curious about this one. I may pick this one up. The City Inside by Samit Basu. Love this cover. Love, love, love it. Joey and Rudra are 2 very different people. She is the reality controller for South Asia's fastest rising celebrity, who also happens to be her ex. He is a wealthy recluse, estranged from his family, seeking refuge in video games. As each continues to make the best decision they can in a world of lesser evils, they quickly become enmeshed in multiple conspiracies. Resistance for these 2 contrasting heroes will look vastly different to each. Okay, I'm still not quite sure what this one's about. I may wait to hear what other people say on it. Speaking Bones by Ken Liu, Dandelion Dynasty number 4. Okay, so this is the 4th book in a series. I would need to read the previous books, but if it's on book 4, that means I could read quite a bit of a series. And I love this cover, very macabre. Okay, the final installment in the epic Silk Punk. That's, I assume, not ancient China, but a Silk Road China fantasy maybe with some steampunk elements. I'm not sure. I'm not going to read more because I don't want spoilers for the first books in the series, because I am interested. Oh ho ho! A Prayer for the Crown Shy Monk and Robot book number 2. Loved the first one. I saw for the Wild Built. Readers return to Panga with sibling decks and Mosscap as they explore the villages and cities. Yeah, I will probably pick this one up. Love this cover too. Next up, Hooked by A.C. Wise. Okay, it's a retelling of Peter Pan from Hook's perspective. Oh, it's a feminist retelling. How is this a feminist retelling from Captain Hook's perspective? 22 years after his escape from Neverland, James discovers that Peter Pan's monster has found him again. Oh, the crocodile. This time in London, but a chance encounter with Wendy Darling. I don't know. Probably not going to pick this one up, but I am kind of intrigued by it. I haven't read anything by this author before, so I don't know. You let me know. The Oleander Sword by Tasha Suri. Tasha Suri brings readers to a new entry in the Burning Kingdoms trilogy. Okay, I have not read books in this series before, so I think I will wait and hear more about it. Okay, this one I am interested in because I heard about it in the Elias video I did. R.F. Kuang, or The Poppy Wars, Babel, or The Necessity of Violence in Arcane History of the Oxford Translators Revolution. This sounds so cool. I also love the cover. Mid-1800s, Babel's is the world's center for translation and magic, including silverworking, where lost translations are given meaning via enchanted silver bars. Hosting the center has made the British Empire unparalleled in their quest for continued colonization. A Chinese orphan raised in Britain joins Babel as a translator, wrestles with serving the organization and betraying his motherland. He is caught between Babel and the Hermes Society, an organization aiming to stop imperial expansion. Definitely going to pick this one up. Nona the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. Yes, I am going to pick up Nona the Ninth, which is the conclusion, to the series I started with Gideon the Ninth. You know, I loved Gideon the Ninth. I was really disappointed in the sequel, not because it was poorly written or anything like that, but because it didn't have the voice that I fell in love with in Gideon the Ninth. But for Nona the Ninth, I am more prepared for the author's, I guess, experimental plot choices. So I will be picking it up. And I think this is the last one. Yes, The Golden Enclaves, the Scholomance number 3 by Naomi Novik. I have read the first 2. I loved the first 2, so I am very interested in seeing the conclusion. So these are the new releases for 2022 put together by Polygon.com. And there are quite a few that I personally am looking forward to. Some I'm probably going to skip, some I don't know about. Let me know in the comments below which ones intrigued you or that you are definitely going to read. Until we meet again, may all the books you read be blessed.